Hello everyone! Let's continue with the TeruShouEnnoTana storyline, and specifically with Tanaka's parents arc, shall we? It's fun, isn't it? I know, we will get back to Dasha soon, don't worry. I didn't forget about him. But right now Tanaka is the focus, as you wished. As always, special thanks to my lovely patrons and all of you who subscribe and watch these videos. You're keeping this channel alive and going. Thank you very much, and I hope you will enjoy.
What am I supposed to do with this?
He motioned vaguely towards his phone, the screen showing the last in a long line of messages his mother sent him while he was at work. It was annoying, to say the least, each text distracting him more and more. Not necessarily because of the amount, but because he couldn't stop thinking about the contents of them every time a new one arrived. Where his parents got his number, he had no idea, but he wouldn't put stalking him to his workplace past them. He even tried blocking the contact, but somehow the texts still kept coming. It was infuriating.
You gotta give them the audacity, huh? No shortage of that.
Tanaka sighed. He felt bad for dragging his boyfriends along, but at this point, his wits were coming to an end, and he appreciated every advice he could get, especially from people who actually loved and cared for him. Yuji was a bit rash in his opinions, but Tanaka was glad for the shot of enthusiasm he emitted, as always. Enoshita was his main source of stability, as he was throughout their whole relationship. And Dasha tried his best to be supportive, which Tanaka appreciated. Even now, despite still looking confused and a bit guilty about the whole thing, he broke out of his usual comfort bubble and was holding his hand, the gesture warming his heart.
I don't know what to do about this anymore. Like, how do I have to spell it out to them that I don't want them in my life?
Well, they seem to want to chat, so why not give them the opportunity to explain themselves? Tanaka frowned, unsure if he heard right, and Enoshita sighed. Don't give me that look. You know I'm well aware of what they did to you and that I'm 100% on your side in this. But consider this. Now that they appeared again, you'll be thinking about it a lot. It's going to occupy your mind for no reason. If you get a closure now, you can avoid that.
Closure, huh?
Yeah. I'm of the opinion they don't deserve any redemption unless they have a damn good excuse. But give it a thought at least. For your own sake.
That's easier said than done, Chica. I mean, I want to know their reasoning, but what if I offer an olive branch and they use it against me again?
The grip on his hand tightened a bit, for a second chasing the clouds from his mind. He flashed Dasha a grateful smile, delighted when his boyfriend's cheeks turned pink. Then he became serious again.
I don't want to get burned. Not by them.
Enoshita smiled at him with the kind of compassion only he could muster. I understand that. I know you are worried, and for good reason. But think about what I said, I'm not saying you have to forgive them. I probably wouldn't either. But maybe it could be insightful to hear them out. We are standing behind you, all of us, if you need help or protection from them.
Damn right. No way I'll let anyone take advantage of my boyfriends.
Tanaka snorted a short laugh at Terushima's determined expression, his heart fluttering over the amount of support he received. Of course, they wouldn't let him face his demons alone. That wasn't their style. Maybe you could meet on some neutral ground, so that you don't feel pressured by them.
Yeah, that's for sure. No way in hell I'm letting them in here again.
He gritted his teeth when the memory of his father's audacity to make Dasha uncomfortable resurfaced in his mind, solidifying the mental promise he made to never, ever let the man close to Dasha again, let alone close enough to touch him. So, how about the ramen place down the street? That's pretty neutral. And we'll be close to come to help if they bother you too much. Tanaka sighed.
I'll let it go through my head first, then I'll see.
That's the spirit. However, bringing himself to actually think things through was more difficult than he thought. Even a week later, he still hadn't decided whether to give his parents a chance to speak or not. Fortunately, the number of messages decreased to 2 or 3 at most a day, usually consisting of one good morning and some begging him to meet up with them. That part was what made it difficult to decide, reminding him that no matter what kind of boundary he set, the two were about to ignore it in order to get hold of him, which pissed him off. On the other hand, however, a part of his mind was curious what was behind their sudden reappearance, and what made them abandon their kids without a word. He growled under his breath when his phone rang with a new message, conflicted and completely exhausted by the situation.
Why can't they just leave me alone? No one missed them. Why do I have to drag everything out now?
He flung his towel against the couch to release some of the pent-up frustration and grabbed his phone, ignored the unsaved number, and instead tapped on Sako's icon.
Hey, you free for a bit?
He didn't have to wait long for an answer. Yep, just finished my shift. Is something going on with my baby brother?
Kinda.
Have you heard from our parents recently?
No? Why are you even thinking about them?
Tanaka paused, a weird feeling settling in his stomach. Why would they contact just him if they wanted to reconnect? They appeared on our doorstep last week, out of the blue. Said they want to talk.
Huh? Now?
Are they serious?
I don't know.
I don't know what to do about it. I sent them away, but they aren't getting the memo.
No surprise there.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm the right person to ask since they seem to want to talk to you specifically. What about your boys? What did they say?
Chika and Yuji want me to talk with them for the peace of my soul. I guess they just want me to have some closure so I could move on.
Sounds like a solid advice.
You don't mind if I talk to them?
Ryu, that's not my thing to decide. It's your life. I'm going to support you whenever you decide though, I promise.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Anytime. Good luck. And stop by sometimes, huh? I haven't seen you since Suguru joined your little squad. Rolling his eyes, Tanaka sent a one emoji answer and closed the chat app. He then let out a frustrated groan as he slumped on the couch, raking his fingers through his hair in a desperate attempt to erase the resurfacing memories. Erase the fact his parents were suddenly back after almost 15 years. Despite the conflicting emotions, one thing he was certain about. He didn't want to see them. He really didn't want to talk with them. Not after what they did. Why would he accept some definitely weak apology? There was no reason. They left him and Saiko and never looked back, surely enjoying their new, child-free life. How even dared they to just come back like this and expect everything to be great? The pillows sank a bit under a new weight, and looking up, he found Dasha kneeling next to him somewhat uncertainly. He was visibly fidgeting, but he was there, looking absolutely adorable in the oversized sweatshirt he came to like lately. A pleasant sight for sore eyes indeed. How do you feel? Tanaka let out a sour chuckle.
I don't know. Confused, I guess. Angry too. It's a lot to take in, not gonna lie.
That's understandable. You can rant if you want. I'll listen. Despite the pain he still felt over his parents' sudden appearance, Tanaka had to smile. He would love to squish Dasha in his arms, turn him into a support plushie of sorts, if only for just a moment. But Dasha wouldn't appreciate it. He knew that well. No matter how pained he was, he couldn't get over it by causing discomfort to his boyfriend. And so he restrained himself, clenching his hands between his knees.
I just don't know what to think about all this. They didn't care for the last 15 years and now they suddenly appear on our doorstep and want to talk it out? What kind of bullshit is that? They fucking left us without even saying anything. Just like that, as if we were their tenants or something instead of their kids. Like, how delusional are they to think they can just appear and everything would be fine again, as if nothing happened?
He let out a deep sigh, his shoulders slumping.
I don't know what to do, Suguru. I mean, I have the right to be mad at them, right? I'm not being unnecessarily mean. But on the other hand, it feels like I should at least hear them out because they are my parents in the end. It's just... I don't know.
Silence settled around, reminding him of the day he woke up into an empty house with only Saeko sitting by the table about to break the news to him. To his surprise, the memory didn't come with that much pain, rather with just a dull tugging around his heart.
I guess it's true what Chika says. One becomes numb to stuff over time.
Then his eyes snapped up as a warm body pressed against his side, a pair of arms hugging his own. All that accompanied by tickling of soft hair on his neck as Dasha laid his head on his shoulder. His heart skipped a beat while he stilled, afraid to even breathe, feeling as if a butterfly landed on his hand.
Suguru?
I don't know the full story yet, but your parents aren't right in this, at all. They left you. You don't have any obligation to forgive them. He tightened his grip a bit, curling more into a ball but keeping his head laid where it was. I know it's not much, but I promise I'll listen whenever you need to talk. Or a rant. Anything. I'm here for you. Rendered speechless for a moment, Tanaka watched him stunned like a deer in headlights before a soft smile curled his lips. He reached to caress Dashiell's cheek, taking note of the light shiver running through his body with the touch.
That's more than enough, love. Thank you.
He pressed a kiss into Dashiell's hair, his heart swelling when Dashiell snuggled closer to him. Just a few minutes ago, he wouldn't dare to imagine a scene like this. And yet, here they were.
It's like when a stray cat starts to trust you enough to curl up on your lap.
He chuckled softly at that comparison, gently brushing the now longer hair from Dashiell's eyes.
Thanks for hearing me out. Do you have anything important to do right now?
No, I shouldn't have. Why?
Because I want to stay like this with you for a while. If you are comfortable with it, of course.
He smiled when he spotted the adorable red tint coloring Dashiell's cheeks after his words and, to his immense happiness, also the short nod. Alright, I can do that. To say Tanaka was overjoyed didn't describe his feelings in the slightest. He nuzzled into Dashiell's hair, breathing in the soft scent of mint from his shampoo, trying to engrave the moment into his memory like a precious treasure. Even when Dasha eventually had to let go to not overwhelm himself, he still felt the gentle touch of his delicate fingers on his hands, felt the warmth of his boyfriend's body against his. It seemed like their work was finally paying off, and he couldn't be happier about it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Okay, I must say that as much as I want to go back to Dasha's storyline and the whole arc with him and everything that's happening around him, I'm quite enjoying the Tanaka arc, quote unquote. When it's going to be next part, hard to tell. I'm slowly working on it, but I'm not fully decided yet if it's going to be the last part of this arc or if I'm going to do 2 parts, so I will see later on. If you have any requests or ideas, the request form is linked in the video description. See you next time!